Every year we read 2 books for our ELA, aka English class. The book they chose for us this year is so terrible, so unrealistic that it makes eating shit look good. In the book, we have these 5 Mexican sisters: Odelia, Juanita, Delia, Vilia, and Pita. And these girls have daddy issues. And their mother is basically very neglectful. She doesn't even take care of the kids. She always takes up the night shift at her job and sleeps all day. So it's up to Odelia, a 16-year-old girl, to do all the housework and take care of her sisters. So during the summer, the girls find a dead body in a river that they swim in. So what do? Do they call the cops? No. They're like, hey, let's take the body to Mexico because we totally know that's definitely where it came from. Like, bro, you don't even know where it came from. How do you know it's from Mexico? And why would you even try to sneak a body across the border? That does not make any sense. Odelia is obviously against the plan as she wants to keep her sisters safe. But then a random ghost lady named La Llorona or whatever her name is appears and says, hey, Odelia, if you go to Mexico, it'll fix your daddy issues. And then gives her magical earrings and disappears. So Odelia, like the fool she is, decides to believe La Llorona and goes to Mexico with her sisters to return a body that they don't even know where it came from. So they steal their mother's car, get to the border, bribe the officers, hypnotize them with magic earrings. Like, what the fuck, man? And after a few chapters of wasted time, they reach the home of the dead man, despite never mentioning in the book how they even know he's from there. And after they're able to get away from the family that was questioning them so much, they're like, hey, let's go see our grandma. But then their car breaks down. So then a random lady meets them on the road and she's like, hey girls, I'll take care of you. We'll just see what happens to your car. But then this lady whose name's Cecilia tries to drug them because she wants children and she doesn't have any. So Odelia once again uses the earrings to call upon La Llorona to save them. And the sisters escape. And Juanita is like,
fuck you, stupid ass ugly bitch.
No, fuck you. I'm sending my monsters after you. Yeah, they're gonna kill all of you.
So it turns out Cecilia was an actual witch. So they go see another witch who can see the future. And she's like, yeah, the bitch cursed you. So they begin to walk to their grandma's house. Like, who came up with that fucking idea? Like, no, you're gonna get kidnapped. And then they meet a donkey on the road. And Peta, the youngest girl who's 10 years old, believes that she can literally talk to this donkey and the donkey's talking to her. And the donkey says, hey, I'll take you to your grandma's house. And it's clearly a fucking trick. But no, the girls believe this donkey and get into his wagon. Until the donkey transforms, turns out he was a Nago, which means a shapeshifter, and he kidnapped the girls and put them in a cave, and he planned to cook them. So then, once again, Odelia uses her ear pendant to call on a goddess and starts singing, because apparently singing will save them. So this goddess basically just says to the shapeshifter, like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, these little girls are under my protection. What are you doing? So the Nago commits suicide and the girls escape. And the rest of the plot after that is all over the place. They fight a few more monsters, they stab a little boy in the eye, Peta gets bitten, and then they get to their grandma's house. And their grandma's like, yep, this is all normal. Nothing weird here. So then they call on another freaking goddess so they can get transported back to America. And then when they get back to America, they make some bullshit story for the FBI and CPS. So the girls aren't taken away from their mother. And when they get home, it turns out their dad is back with a new wife and 2 new children. Turns out he was having a 10-year affair. And their dad wants to kick out their mom, but keep Odelia and her sisters because apparently he's doing it for them and their sake. But Odelia is having none of this. Look here, you little motherfucker. You better get the fuck out of my house and take your hoe and retarded kids with you before I make you.
Fine, but I was doing this for you. Look at that useless bitch standing over there.
I said, get out. And that's basically where the story ends. The author was probably on drugs when she wrote this book. I mean, their daddy issues were never fixed. The whole magic and monsters plot thread literally came out of nowhere. These characters are so bland, so cliche. Their mother is purely neglectful. And all that Spanish sprinkled in, like just one Spanish word and a sentence full of English. Like, no, this is not Dora the fucking Explorer. This is like saying a lot because I love reading and this book was just terrible. This is probably the longest video I have ever made and the one I've worked hardest on so far. At only 13 frames per second, like not even 24. Anyways, if you liked my video, like, subscribe, and check out one of these other videos. Or subscribe. 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 Goodbye.